Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tanya. Just going to apologize up front. I have been a little nasally, so I'm sorry if my voice comes and goes. I'm going to try to get this message out to y'all today. It's a little bit of a personal one, so I hope that I don't cry or tear up. But the name of today's lesson is Trying While Crying, or vice versa, Crying While Trying. So we're going to begin with Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12, just a little quick overview. It says, "And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him." So Jesus saw the multitude of people, went into a mountain, and the disciples went to him. So they followed him up that mountain. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, so Jesus spoke unto them. And this is Jesus' words. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So the poor in spirit is humility and recognition of one's need for God. That is going to be the kingdom of heaven. "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." So we who cry while trying so hard will be comforted one day. "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." So the meek is trust God to act on their behalf. They're going to be the ones that inherit the earth. "And blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." And so people who seek righteousness will be filled and won't be thirsty anymore. "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." So people who show mercy will get mercy through God. "And blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." So the pure in heart get to see God face to face one day, and I hope to be one of those people. I want to see his face. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." And so peacemakers, we're talking about the true ones, not these fake ones that's wore this and wore that. True peacekeepers, those family members that go in and, when a family's having a dispute, the peacemakers, those are the children of God. "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So all of us who are persecuted for being righteous and those true believers, we will receive the kingdom of heaven one day. And it says, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." So for his sake, when we do it in God's name, we're going to be rewarded. It says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." So we will rejoice, and the disciples went through all of these things during their time. So he's just reminding us that it's not always an easy road, but eventually we'll get there. So all of these things we must endure to build our strength and to grow within our faith and building that relationship with God. The days are not always easy. I cry through some days. My life has changed so much this past year. It feels foreign to me most days, but this morning I got on my knees and talked with God, crying and trying and asking God to please remember me and my efforts, because I am being obedient to him even though my human heart hurts. My mama heart hurts, y'all. So praying on your knees makes a difference, and you are bowing before God, and he recognizes this gesture when we do that. So moving on to Isaiah 6, 8 through 10. It says, "Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me." And so who will go? I believe that I answered God's call in October of 2025, just this last year, when I moved to Hot Springs. And I didn't even hesitate when I was told by God to do so. I did not understand at the time what was being laid out in front of me, but I told God that I would do it, and I did. And so God set my path that day, and let me tell you that I've been crying while trying the whole journey. And I'm still crying while trying today. Verse 9 says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see you indeed, but perceive not. So I started this Bible study because God instructed me to do so, and I don't understand it all. But I do know that I've taught a lot on having those spiritual eyes and ears, and I'm learning just like all of you are. And every lesson teaches me. I'm building my relationship with God by doing these lessons. Verse 10 says, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. So I pray that my messages feed you the Word of God, and that you are able to find Him and study His words. Build your own personal relationship with God. It is indeed the most special gift of all, the one you'll ever receive. It's the most precious. Jeremiah 3:14 says, turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and will bring you to Zion. So one of a city is me, all alone, and two of a family is Alicia and Brooklyn that do the Bible study with me. They are my roommates. And bring you to Zion. That means to the end and to the rapture. He set us on our course. So I was here in Hot Springs all alone and in my darkest hours, and God led me to Alicia. We didn't know one another, but God knew us both. And He had a divine plan that neither of us knew at that time, but quickly figured out. And we are now a family through God's plan for us. And days are not always easy, but with His love and mercy, we have figured it out. We are crying, but trying. We both had to give up things that we love to make this work, meaning a lot of stuff with our families. But we are being obedient to God, and Brooklyn was a bonus. I now have a goddaughter, y'all, that I didn't have before, and to me, that is a true blessing. Moving on to Revelations 21:4-7. It says, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And so God will wipe away my tears one day, as well as Alicia's. And will you allow Him to wipe your tears? And these hard days will be rewarded in the end. We just have to build our faith and wait on God to say it's time for Jesus to come back and claim His bride. And I'm ready for that day, but the world is not. And He that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And He said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. So all things will be made new, faithful and true. Words, because everything ever prophesied in the Bible has came true. So I know these words speak truth as well. Verse 6 says, and He said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. So Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. God will speak those words one day soon to all of the nations of this world, and the righteous true believers will drink from that fountain. And he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. So all of us that overcome this human life shall inherit these things. God is God, our Creator, the only God, and we are His children. So if you're ever asked any questions, you just say, God is our Creator, and that'll answer everything. And so even when you're crying and trying, don't give up. Get on your knees and talk with God. He is our strength and body armor. Sometimes God has to break us first, and let me tell y'all, I've been broken. And then He reforms us with a new purpose in life. And we may not understand it, but when you have faith in God, then He guides you on your path. And that's what's happening with me. It's not a guarantee to be easy. You are put to the test, and I'm telling y'all, I get put to the test every day. God chooses individuals for specific purposes. He protects us, but will push you out of your comfort zone. We have to withstand the pressure while being prepared for our final alignment with God's plan. We trust in Him, and God is our strength. So when I'm on my knees calling out to God to help me, He has actually carried me on His eagle wings. And now Exodus 19, 4 through 5. It says, "Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself." So God brought Israel out of Egypt. He says that I bare, which means carried you on eagle's wings unto myself. So He brought them forth unto Himself. So God carried them, and I believe that He carries me, and I believe He carries all of us. We are grafted in by Jesus' sacrifice on that cross. And Jesus wants us to love His Father more than anything. I love God, our Father and Creator, and His Son, Jesus Christ, who sacrificed Himself for us on that cross. I'm not ashamed to say it, and I will tell anyone that asks. Verse 5 says, "Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine." So that is God laying His claim on the whole earth. It says, "If you obey the Lord, then in the end you will be a treasure." So no matter what you are going through in this life, turn it over to God and let Him carry you. We will win in the end. Team God and Jesus, we already know how the story ends. So choose the winning team even when you are crying while trying, and God will not fail us. And so eagles study the wind and soar above the storm. So God carries us through the storms of life. So I tell everybody, fly like an eagle on that battlefield, because we are definitely at a spiritual warfare right now. Rise above the storms of life, and never forget that God knows your heart, even when it's crying while trying. And so I claim to be a messenger. I signed this, Love the Messenger. I hope that y'all read my notes. I hope that this touched somebody. It touched me today to understand that God, He knows when we're crying, and He knows when we're trying. And you put trying and crying together, and I think that you will definitely be remembered. I prayed this morning that I'll be remembered for all that I'm doing, even though my mama heart hurts. I'm here without my children, and it's hard, but I'm doing what God told me to do. I'm not sure what this purpose is, but I'm figuring it out day by day. And I just want to say that I love all of y'all, and I hope that y'all have a God blessed day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.